Honey, I need some money to buy tuna.
Yeah, sure. Take whatever you want. I love tuna.
Everyone loves the tuna.
The tuna? Why do you say that tuna and not tuna? Is that a dumb nickname for a watch?
In 1975, Seiko released the tuna. This is not the original, of course. The original was a high beat automatic. This one is quartz. In 1978, they released the world's first quartz professional diver. The tuna has around 20 licensed patents. The tuna was revolutionary. World's first rubber strap with ventilation. That's the accordion style. I know it's a small thing, but everyone does it now. World's first L gasket. Everyone does it now. And many more. First titanium professional diver. The list goes on with the tuna. It is an icon, and among Seiko-holics, when we argue which is the most iconic Seiko, the tuna has a strong case. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys consider the most iconic Seiko diver? When you think dive watch, doesn't matter. When you think diver, you think Seiko, and the tuna has a large part of that. The tuna is hermetically sealed, meaning it doesn't need a helium escape valve. It can do mixed gas diving. It is amazing, and the original with the monoblock case, you had to screw down the crystal assembly, very similar to the Marine Masters. Now, that screwing motion was the trigger for the nickname tuna. And the shroud, of course, looks like a can of tuna. So those two factors contributed to the nickname, not just the shroud. So a little bit of a fun fact with the tuna. Now, let's dive in and check this beautiful piece out. Let's begin. First off, thanks to Kavar Jewelers for lending the tuna into the channel. And if you want to buy this watch, email me in the description below and I'll give you a discount code. Introducing the Seiko S23629, also known as the Seiko Tuna. What do you guys think? I'm a fan of this watch. Wow. You know, when you hold a tuna, it feels special. It has X factor and it's just hard to explain, but it's a beauty and it just feels like a special timepiece. It has a lot of history like we talked about in the intro, and you can just feel that heritage when you hold even the modern one. Now, let's check out that K-shape. Instantly you can see the tuna inspiration with that huge shroud that is beautifully brushed to perfection. And there are drilled lugs. They're so tiny and they're tucked in right at the bottom. It is almost lugless, you could say. And there's 3 screws holding down the shroud. 1 on the right side and 2 on the left. All right, so very simple K-shape. This K-shape is like a tuna can. Okay, so that's the description. K-shape description completed. It's a tuna can, done. All right. But it's a beautiful tuna can and I'm such a fan of this beautiful watch. It's just special. I love the high polish on the inner lip of those reliefs on that shroud. See it catching the light there at the bottom near the 7 and 8 o'clock? Awesome. It's a cool case and I'm a fan of it. Now let's check out the movement real quick. This watch has the 7C46 quartz movement, made with high quality parts, no plastic. It can last a couple lifetimes if you do service it. It is a serviceable quartz movement with 7 jewels. High torque, high tolerance, and very durable. Larger pinions, larger center wheel for that high torque to hold those heavy dive watch hands with heavy lume. The lume is going to be applied ultra thick on these pro divers. So that's why it needs that high torque. And the 7 jewels reducing that friction, helping out even more so. Now, This watch does have dual trimmers. That's a nice feature. What does that mean? So if the movement ever drifts in accuracy, you can actually regulate it, but you're gonna need a regulation machine or a quartz time grapher, if you will. Seiko does make one. I don't have one, and they're very easy to regulate. You just turn to the plus or minus. I know some people have been doing reviews on this saying it is thermally regulated movement. It has a temperature adjustment. It does not have that. I emailed Seiko to confirm. No response yet. However, if it did have that, 100%, they would put it in the spec sheet. 100%, they would brag about it. Now, for example, the Grand Seiko 9F quartz has temperature control. What does the temperature control do? Well, first of all, it drains the battery heavy duty. All right, so the Grand Seiko's temperature control is so efficient that the battery can last 3 years. This one, the battery 5 years. The Grand Seiko one is on lightweight hands. This is on heavy duty hands. So if they put that temperature regulation control unit in this movement, it would not even last 3 years. The battery would not make it to 5 years. So that's my second point why it doesn't have that. Now they do call the tuna thermally regulated, but I'm thinking that that's the case. The case being titanium and so well sealed, fully hermetically sealed, it is very resistant to temperature changes. All right, let's check out the measurements. This one's a beast. 47.4 in diameter. That's with that shroud. So that shroud does taper down, does get thicker on the base. The watch is kind of wider than it is tall. A little bit strange. So here is the height. 13.6, ultra slim it seems for such a beast. But that shroud creates a higher look. And the way that the lugs are underneath that case and not just on the side, like a normal watch, like on the side where the profile is instead of coming in down at the bottom like the tuna, it also creates that taller look. So we're gonna check it out on wrist later and see. Now the lug to lug, the most important measurement, but maybe not for the tuna, 44.5. So shorter lug to lug than the width. All right. And the secret measurement that we love on this channel might not affect this watch because of that shroud, but the secret measurement, 40.7. Huh. A 40 mil bezel. Crazy. So visually, it's gonna wear a lot smaller than this case is indicating. Man, this thing's a beast. Now, the bracelet doesn't have one, comes with a silicone strap, very nice, signed Seiko. And it does have a little bit of texture on the bottom, and it is ventilated with these accordion style, squishy, moldable, flexible strap. Very nice for diving, all right? And Seiko was the first one to do that, and that's amazing, keeping the tradition on the new tuna. Now the case back, as you can see, still has the sticker. I'm not sure if you can read it, but it does say saturation diving. This can do mixed air, helium, nitrogen, oxygen without a helium escape valve because it is so hermetically sealed like we talked about in the intro. So a professional dive watch. Now if you want to use a dive computer to dive, go ahead. But you always want a mechanical or quartz as a backup. You never know when the computer's going to fail. Now the first dive watch computer in the world was from Seiko, so go ahead and use a dive computer if you want. Now, let's check out that bezel and bezel insert. I emailed Seiko to confirm the material, but lately on all their new watches they've been using stainless steel brushed, and I can see the brushing come through. I'll try to show you some macros, and then they've been coating it with this black titanium carbon. It's like a DLC coating almost. Supposed to give it a little bit more scratch resistance and strength. Now it does click a little light. It does have that Seiko dampened feel that I love, but it feels a bit too light and it's hard to grip because of that shroud. And that's on purpose. The shroud is supposed to protect from dings so the bezel doesn't move while diving. So you want it to be a little bit difficult in this case because this is a pro diver. So you're not going to use it daily if this is your pro dive watch, but it's still not bad. Now the sapphire crystal, this one is flat and I love flat crystals. Very nice. But this one has a special trick. It is domed on the inside. So the inside of the crystal has a dome, but the outside completely flat. Now the majority of tunas, if you look at the history of tunas throughout time, most of them were flat. I know they did double dome for a bit, but I'm glad that we got the flat one. All right, and it's cool that they left the dome on the inside. I guess you can call it a single dome. You'll get a little bit of distortion. Very cool. Might look like the second hand is not hitting the marks, but that might be that single dome distortion on the inside. Very hard to film a watch that has a flat top and a domed inside crystal. It's just the camera didn't know how to focus. It was tough, definitely tough. Now the dial and hands, we have the traditional tuna style hands, but a little bit less taper on that minute hand, okay? So instead of being more aggressive, it's a little bit more uniform throughout. All right, but the hour hand looks like it has the same aggressive taper of the olden days, and we do have a dividing line down the middle of that minute hand. So that's very nice. Black day and date wheel match the dial perfectly. I love how all the indices are round, exactly how they should be on a tuna. And the top one, of course, is a triangle for the 12 o'clock orientation. Matte black, and we have the Pro Specs logo. I'm okay with it. I think the balance of the dial is perfect. Not too much text like, let's say, a Submariner or Daytona would have. Those have encyclopedias. Now, this just says Seiko, Pro Specs logo, professional, and 300. Now, maybe without the Pro Specs logo, it would look even more clean and more perfect. What do you guys think? But so far, I think it is a good use of negative space. Just the right amount of text. But I could do without the Pro Specs logo. All right, but I'm not against it either. Now the crown, no wobble, 100% the stiffest crown ever. It's on hacking mode. You can see it's being hacked right now. Nothing. Crazy. Push it in, movement starts up again. Screw it down, push in. It is ultra smooth, no grinding, nothing. Probably one of the smoothest crowns ever. Very nice. Feels like an Oris, the ones that have the clutches. That's how it feels. It's very smooth. Now the price, $14.50 USD. It's a little steep, but you're getting the upgraded sapphire crystal, and the bezel insert might cost Seiko a little bit more, being steel and the coating, but that's still not confirmed. All right, so you're getting a little bit of an upgrade, and definitely you're getting history and prestige, but is it worth it? Guys, all prices on all watches have been going up recently. It's not just Seiko, all right? However, this one, if you think about the longevity of the movement, how it can be serviced and passed down generation to generation, how it's a pro diver, how it has tons of history that paved the way in so many ways for divers, it's for $1,400, and if you can get a discount, I can give you one. It's definitely worth it. It's a beautiful timepiece, and of course I'm a fan of it. I don't own a tuna because it's a little big for me, but I don't know, I'm still gonna try to hunt one down because I have almost all the shapes. I have case shapes. I have SKX, I have Marine Master, I have Willard. All right, so all these iconic shapes, and I have Seiko 5. Now, I don't have tuna, but it's my goal to finally get a tuna. Hopefully, I don't know, I might get that 4R one, the automatic. Not because it's automatic, I actually want a quartz. I want a high accuracy quartz, an ultra high end quartz. I actually wouldn't mind one or two of those. They're just amazing to have. It's like a little bit of a miracle. Getting atomic time on your wrist without any outside help, like my G-Shock, without radio control, that's amazing. But this one, unfortunately, only rated at plus 15, minus 15 seconds a day. I mean, sorry, not a day, a month, which is typical of a quartz, probably, you know, half a second a day, which is really good, but we can do better. You know, if we had the high accuracy one, ooh, it's just so nice to have. It's something to geek out over, and it is a little bit of a miracle. Citizen makes probably one of the greatest quartz. That $10,000 high accuracy quartz that they have. Ooh, man, I would love to get one of those on the channel. Probably never will. It's just too expensive and too rare. But anyways, I digressed. Sorry, guys. Bottom line is the price, when you compare it to other watches in the industry and what you're getting, I think this is a fair price. I think it's a good watch, and I think it's worth it. Now, let's compare with the SKX. Why not? Okay? Or if you're still here at the end of the video, you probably really want to see this size. You're probably into the watch. Man, look at that. Damn. So the lug to lug is actually longer on the SKX. A little bit hard to tell though, because the Tuna's lugs are so tiny. Man, having these two, it's just, oh man, I love the Seiko DNA and vibe I'm getting just with these two icons. What do you guys think? Now, it's gonna wear a lot taller, even though the thickness is about the same. It's just because that shroud creates the illusion of tallness, because it just sticks straight up. Well, it does have a taper. It gets thinner at the top, of course, wider at the base. All right, let's check it out with, why not, the Willard. So we're getting a little bit more cushion case. Look at that, the Willard looks bigger. Let me make sure they're on the same plane. There. Yeah, pretty close, wow. It looks so funny, the Tuna, because it sticks out so much. Yep, look at that, guys. What do you think? I don't know. All right, I have a 6.5-inch wrist, and I'm a little bit blown away because it feels like it fits pretty good. This is a 47. It's kind of nuts. Now look at that. That's that height with that shroud. It's just gonna. In real life, I'm looking at it. It doesn't even look that tall in real life, but the camera making it look like it's sticking out too much. Yeah, it's strange. I'm peeking my head over. Yeah, it looks like it's just jutting out. In real life, the effect is not as pronounced. Man, it's such a cool watch. I need a Tuna in my life, 100%. These things just have X factor. They're so cool. I just love wearing it. Feels powerful. Love it. Okay, so let's check out the weight. 130 grams. Oh, okay, went back to 130. It went to 129 for a split second, if you guys noticed. 130 grams, definitely a nice weight. It does feel heavy, but that's just, it's all here. The strap is nothing. So, might feel a little bit top heavy. Now, we're not gonna do time grapher. It's 15 seconds a month, so half a second a day, so ultra accurate. No worries there. Let's check out the LUME. I have a feeling this is gonna be amazing. Yep. Oh my god. LUME is a beast. I didn't charge it or anything. Wow. That's professional diver. Let's check out the SKX next to it. Now the SKX has been under the lights for the exact same time this whole review. I brought it out before I started because I knew I wanted to show the SKX next to the tuna. Good Lord, I didn't charge this. Wow. Okay, so I'm looking around the camera to confirm. And yes, the tuna is brighter, but not as much as the camera is making it look. I would say 30% brighter? All right. Maybe the Willard has a chance. Let's see. Yeah, no chance. It's the exact same situation. Okay. How about my SEIKO 5? Nope. Wow. I wonder what would happen if I charge this watch. Just so curious. Let's see how it looks. Whoa. Yup. Jesus. Damn. Okay, so serious lume. Just like the Marine Masters, the tuna has serious lume. Big fan. Okay guys, here it is under some half lighting. Beautiful. Black dial and insert. It's just so clean and classic. I'm a fan of this watch. It has history, it is quality, and it looks beautiful. It's just a cool watch. Now, if you are not a fan of the tuna, I completely understand. It might not be for everyone, but I hope you enjoyed my review. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.